Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Primo Emblem 2.0 boxing gloves. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a long-awaited review on the Primo Emblem 2.0 boxing gloves. I got mine in the black and gold colorway, which they call Onyx. 14 ounces. It is a Velcro closure only model. You can get this glove anywhere between 8 and 16 ounces, as well as multiple different colorways, which you can check out on Primo's website. Also to note, they do make a synthetic leather version of this glove if you're on a budget. This glove is made of full, genuine leather construction with 4 layers of foam over the knuckle area that has a medium to soft density to it. So if you're one of those people like myself that likes that softer foam, much more broken in feel, then you'll definitely be a fan of these gloves. And these gloves are handmade in Thailand. Now, this is the successor to the original Emblem boxing gloves. I did a review on those a couple of years ago. I got mine in red. And what really impressed me with the original Emblems is just how comfortable they were. It was just an all-around a great glove, especially for a Thai-made glove. The thing that really stood out to me was the comfort and how soft and broken in the gloves were when I initially got them. And that's what really made me a fan of the original Emblems. As a matter of fact, I believe they were on my top 10 boxing gloves for 2023. They came in at number 10. So those to me were one of my favorite gloves and still are. So I was excited to find out that Primo made a 2.0, a successor to the original glove, just to see how these would compare to those and if they would live up to the name of the original Emblems, which I really loved. So and so far these gloves definitely have. One thing that I love about Thai gloves is going to be the quality, the attention to detail, and typically you're getting one of the best bang for bucks when it comes to boxing gloves or just boxing and combat equipment in general when it comes to Thai brands, whether it's Fairtex, Primo, Twins, Yokkao, whatever it may be. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a Thai-made product that was bad quality. They always have excellent leather. The stitching's always on point. That you can tell there's an level of attention to detail that they put into their products that you sometimes don't get with other brands. So definitely a huge fan of that. Now, from a design standpoint for a 14-ounce glove, I would say that these gloves are a little bit on the larger side when it comes to sizing profile, like the height of the glove and the overall width of the glove. I'd say it's a little bit on the large side, not huge. They're not like a huge Mexican-made glove where it goes all the way down on your forearm. It's not huge, but I'd say for a 14-ounce glove, these probably run a little bit on the larger side. So I can venture to think and say that the 16s are going to be a little bit larger, and if you have longer fingers, larger hands, then they should definitely accommodate your hand size very well. You do have the Primo logo on the back of the glove with the white background, a little bit of silver, and the black Primo font. The leather on here has more of a, I guess you could say, satin to matte finish, and has a very smooth and supple texture. Feels very nice. You'll also notice that the thumb to the back of the glove does not have a seam that separates the thumb and the glove shell, so everything is one piece. Coming down to the wrist, you do have a 3.5-inch Velcro strap and the rubberized Primo fight wear patch. The letters on here, as well as the stars and the little font down here, they're all raised up. You can actually feel the font. It's raised up from the rubber patch. And I do love the fact that they use the rubber patch rather than a cheap cloth patch. It just has a more premium feel to it. It doesn't have sharp edges on the edges of the patch itself. But if you were to come in at a certain angle really fast with your punch, I could definitely see this maybe scuffing your sparring partner. So if I were to use these for sparring, I'd probably put a couple pieces of tape, medical grade or boxing tape over that, just to prevent any edges from poking out while you're using these. Rotating to the palm side, it says handcrafted, fighter tested, Primo genuine leather, made in Thailand. You have the weight there, 14 ounces. And a lot of Thai style gloves. This one to me is kind of like a hybrid, more of a conventional boxing glove with a couple small features that you would get from a Thai glove. Now, you don't have the rounded cuff like you would with a traditional Thai glove with a really short cuff for the clinch, but you do have the half Velcro strap. So it starts off down the middle of the palm rather than on the outside edge of where the Velcro strap is, and you have that fully wrap around. The inside has a polyester satin liner on the inside there. He also says made in Thailand. Composition is leather, so you do have that little tag. The back of the wrist has about an inch firm density foam padding. The inside, I'd say, has about an inch to an inch and a quarter. So you can definitely tell they put an emphasis on wrist support. And I'd say this is medium density foam on the inside of the wrist right there, as well as that same inch layer of foam on this side. And you can see that they stitched everything in really nicely so that none of this padding for the wrist support goes into the rest of the glove. Everything stays in the section that it's stitched into. You see the Velcro strap is done very nicely. You also have kind of a silver pearl, I'd say pearlish sheen when it comes to the this piping around the thumb. The same thing with the gold. The gold isn't a very shiny gold. It's more of a pearlized gold, and I like that. It has a little bit more of a subdued look, but it looks really, really clean as well. You have the ventilated holes right here on the palm, nothing on the thumb, and a really nice large grip bar that has a medium firmness to it as well. And you have a full length attached thumb. So your attached thumb starts right all the way down here, all the way to the very end of the thumb, and you don't have any issues with the thumb peeking out to poke your sparring partner in the eye when you're using these for training. So overall, those are the features of the glove. A very clean and classy looking glove. Quality wise with the gloves are very nice. I mean, again, I can't reiterate this enough. For most Thai gloves that I've used, they've always been really nice. I mean, you can see the leather on here looks really good. The stitching is pretty much perfect. There's no areas on this glove where any of the stitching is unraveling or coming apart. You can see the palm side is done very nicely. All symmetrical. The spacing between the stitching looks very good. The strike surface where I've been using the glove right here, obviously you'll have a little bit of wear and tear the more you use it. Has held up nicely, no issues with the foam. The glove weight, the right glove was at I think 14.3 and the left glove's at 14.1, so a hair overweight, but pretty much on point with weight when it comes to weight, which is good to see. The inside liner is your standard polyester, again satin liner. No issues there, no tearing, no exposed foam or inner filler that you can see there. Piping is done very nicely. And you can also see too, on the back side, they have a piece of synthetic polyurethane that they line the inside of this Velcro strap with, which gives you a little bit more durability and reinforcement on that side, where it's not just the piece of a liner on the inside. So they put that just for that added durability, which I definitely like. But quality wise, these are on point for sure. Even the little logo right here, the Primo logo, 14 ounces. When you put the gloves next to each other, they're exactly where they need to be. All the holes are poked out on the palm. The grip bar feels good and consistent. Again, just the outside edges, everything looks really good. No issues with any kind of thread poking out on that attached thumb piece right there. And a very well balanced glove as well. So you can hold it at either end, at the cuff, at the very top of the glove, and you have no issues with the glove being too top heavy and sagging over. Everything is nice and consistent when it comes to weight distribution. Comfort of the glove, sliding your hand in, another great feature of this glove. It's very comfortable. One critique I usually have when it comes to certain Thai gloves is that they're super stiff, and that's because they use a really kind of a thick grade of leather, and just the glove itself, while maybe ergonomic, it's extremely stiff and it takes a long time to break in. And that's the case for some Mexican branded gloves as well. And this glove, right off the bat, it just has a nice, soft, broken in feel. So you're essentially getting that quality leather, that Thai-made leather and craftsmanship, but you're also getting that nice, soft, broken in feel that I personally prefer. The thumb position is perfect. Even when I make a fist, the thumb doesn't come down. You can see that it stays in position and the tip doesn't just roll over and jam. So the depth of the thumb is perfect. The piping around my thumb feels good as well. It's not too tight. It gives the fat part of my thumb enough room to breathe. Wrist support feels great. And the finger compartment is nice and deep. You also have a secondary grip bar that's pretty thick. It's a piece of, it feels like almost like a piece of neoprene or a small sliver of foam right here on the finger compartment. And the more you use it, the more your fingers kind of make its own little imprint into that piece of foam. But I love the fact that they put that there. And it's a pretty thick piece too. It's not like they just kind of cover the stitching. They put a nice little thick piece of foam right there on top of the main grip bar here to really give you a nice tight fist when you roll your fingers over. So definitely very comfortable. And you can see even right off the bat, I mean, I've used these gloves for a while now, but right off the bat, the gloves were broken in. You can open and close your palm and to be able to parry shots or parry shots, excuse me, with no issues. It's not a glove where you feel like you have to put a ton of effort just to get your palm to open up. So definitely like the feel of that. Very comfortable. Liner feels good as well. It's not bunching up. There's no areas in this section of the glove, you know, where your knuckles are at that you feel like you're getting, you know, any of that inside liner bunching up in this corner or around here. Everything feels really nice and smooth. Protection and performance, very well balanced glove. Kind of deceptive because the foam on here has a medium to soft density to it, but it compresses down nicely. So the more you punch with power, you're going to compress that foam, but it does a good job of giving that pop and that feedback while also offering a good amount of shock absorption as well. And just a very satisfying feeling. You feel like you land on those two front knuckles. You get a nice flat punch surface. It's not rounded out. You don't have to feel like, it doesn't feel like your shots kind of roll off the bag that you're punching or skid off the bag because the surface of the glove is too rounded out. You feel like you land really nicely on those two front knuckles. Very comfortable. And I say a perfect blend in terms of protection and performance. So if you're looking to use these gloves for the bag, you do so. If you're looking to use these for the mitts to work with your coach, you do that. If you're looking to use these, you know, whether it's 14 or 16 for sparring, you can do that as well. A very versatile glove when it comes to the type of padding that this glove is built with. Cost-wise, these gloves start at $125 and go all the way up to $145. Now this is the area that I don't like about this glove, or the branding should I say, is the 8-ounce gloves are $125, and as you go up in weight, it goes up by $5 increments. I'm not a fan of that. I feel like that's like your nickel and diming people for these gloves. Mine at 14 ounces were 140, and then if you get them at 16, they're 145. So it's not a huge jump in price, $5 per weight increment. But again, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that. If you're gonna do that, just make the gloves, meet in the middle. Make them $130 for all of them, for any size. Because again, I know Winning does the same thing with their gloves where they increase the price. And granted, the larger the glove, you're using a little bit more material. I get it. But I don't know. I've just never been a fan of that. If you're gonna charge a price for a model of a glove, unless it's custom and they're going with crazy colorways and crocodile and kangaroo skin, I get that. But for weight, I don't know. I feel like a 2 ounce, like from 8 to 10 ounces, how much of a difference in material? Or maybe you're using this much more foam and this much more. I don't know. Again, I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. But if we're looking at the price in general, for 125 to 145, I definitely think it's worth it for the price. And even at the high end of $145, this is a great glove for that price. I mean, honestly, this is one of those gloves that you could essentially say for a Thai brand is one of their best for a conventional style boxing glove. This to me is not a conventional Thai style glove. This is a conventional boxing glove with a couple of features like a Thai glove with that outside kind of that extra padding right here on the wrist, but also gives you a little bit padding up higher to catch strikes, knees, elbows, and whatnot. So, but overall, I'm very impressed with these gloves still. I definitely feel like the comfort's there. It's really, to me, the best Thai-made conventional boxing glove that I've tried so far. And I'm pretty sure they'll come out with others later in the future. But so far, these are my favorite for a Thai-made conventional boxing glove. So, if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know where to put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Primo Emblem 2.0 boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.